So earlier today, Packers QB coach Tom Clements spoke with Packers reporters and shared some of his insights on Sean Clifford as well as a little bit on 7th round rookie QB Michael Pratt. And so here it is first from Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated. It says Clements on Pratt: he's still growing and learning. He's not quite there, but did some good things. Clements on Clifford: struggled first week of practice, but had good family night and a good game. And yeah, when we were watching the first week of Packers training camp, just seeing the different reports coming out from reporters, Clifford was consistently throwing a lot of interceptions at those practices. And, it made you wonder, with him going into his second year, would he be able to hold off Michael Pratt? I do think he, of course, had the advantage for the fact that he had been in the Packers system for an entire year. As a rookie, Michael Pratt's having to learn everything, learn the scheme, learn all the terminology, all the kind of stuff like that. And so for a guy like Clifford, who already has a whole year of that experience, it gives him a huge, huge leg up when it comes to, winning the backup job and being able to go in there and, play for Jordan Love if there ever was some kind of injury. And so Clements saying that Pratt is still growing and learning, not quite there, but that Clifford played good at family night and had a good game in his opinion. Then Rob Damski said this: Packers QB coach Tom Clements on whether Sean Clifford is one of those QBs who's better in games than practice. Quote, he practices hard, but sometimes in a game you have that little extra spark. He has that quality about him being a gamer. End of quote. Compared him to Matt Flynn in that regard. And I gave some of my thoughts after that Packers preseason game on Clifford and Michael Pratt. Clifford played in 21 dropbacks. Pratt only played in 7 dropbacks. So it's not a really big enough sample size to really know the kind of quarterback Michael Pratt will be in the NFL. But just going off those dropbacks, I honestly did think that Michael Pratt looked like the better quarterback in my opinion. I just thought he looked more comfortable in the pocket. Seemed like he was just more precise than Sean Clifford. And I don't think Sean Clifford's a bad quarterback. I think he's a fine backup. I don't know that he would be a solid starter in the league, but I think he's a solid backup to have behind Jordan Love because, as Tom Clements brought up, he does have that gamer-like ability where he's willing to make any kind of throw. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to be aggressive. But I think at times, we saw in the past last season, or last preseason, that he's willing to take chances that maybe sometimes he shouldn't take. And so sometimes that can work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out. And I think there were a few different passes during that game on Saturday where he was just a little bit off target. He still played a somewhat good game. One of those Bo Melton drops was behind him. If you watch I think it was like a slant coming across Bo Melton. He throws it behind him. Bo Melton drops it. Another one I think Bo Melton should have caught. And so there's no doubt that, Clifford could have had a little bit more help from the receivers. But I just think all in all, looking at what Pratt did, he just seems a little bit like just a more effortless passer than Sean Clifford, in my opinion. And just the way he threw the ball, the way that he, sort of managed and sat in the pocket. That's only on 7 dropbacks. So I'm not saying that this is, that Michael Pratt's going to easily be a better QB than Sean Clifford. It's just a small sample size. And as Tom Clements said, Michael Pratt does still have some growing and learning to do. So right now, when the Packers are having to decide between, who's going to be the backup quarterback, I would assume the fact that Sean Clifford probably has a better understanding of the offense, so has a better grasp of things in Green Bay. I would still say he probably has the better chance of winning the backup job. I just honestly think that in the long run, 1-2 years down the line, just from what I saw on Sunday, I think Pratt could end up being the better quarterback. I'm curious to see what happens in the next 2 preseason games, and hopefully we'll get to see some more Michael Pratt because, as I said, I really, really liked what we saw from him in those 7 dropbacks. But if you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below. You can also subscribe to my other NFL channel, which will be linked at the top of the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.